What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. The weekend is just about here. By the time you watch this, you'll probably be on your way home from work or home from work, so the weekend is here. All right, so this is an impromptu video. I'm gonna push all my other videos I have planned back a day just so I can tell you about my experience that I had with this third brake light and the company I ordered it from, ProTuningLab.com. Here's the disclaimer right off the bat. I never, ever like to speak badly about any company whatsoever, okay? I give companies time after time after time after time to make something right. You know, I'm in a business, my own job is a customer service related business, so I understand both sides, and I understand things get a little screwy sometimes. But I don't want to sit quiet and let you guys order without being knowledgeable of what I went through. I refuse to let my viewers and subscribers order from a place that I had this much trouble from, okay? At least without you knowing what's up. All right, so let me give you the whole story real quick. I'm sorry if it's long-winded. So obviously I want to get a third brake light, LED black third brake light for the Tundra to go with the Windjet taillights, okay? Windjet doesn't make a third brake light, so I started to look online, to look elsewhere, to see if I could find one from another brand, which of course they're pretty much everywhere. I came across Pro Tuning Lab because it was on a Google search or whatever, and the product was pretty cheap. I didn't want to spend an arm and a leg. It was like between 60 and 70 bucks, nothing crazy. It was really nice looking, okay? I looked at the description and made sure it's what I wanted, everything. The description was good, but it didn't say a lot about install type things like that. But I didn't really look into it either because of, you know, how easy is it to install a third brake light? You take the two screws out, you remove the factory light, you put the new one on, you put the screws back in, obviously you plug in the connector, and that's it. It's literally 5 minutes, okay? All the thing that I was really concerned about was that it was DOT approved, all right? So there are definitely some things that I screwed up on in this purchase, and one of them was not, A, looking up the company on review sites and stuff like that. Should have did that. That would have opened my eyes and I would have never done this. That was one thing I did. And number two, I didn't make sure that the third brake light was one that is a direct replacement, you know, as far as screws out, take the factory off, new one on, screws in. This is one of those lights that you actually have to pull off the headliner in the back of the truck to get to where the bolts and screws and stuff would go. It's a pretty integral install, and I'll be honest with you right now, just so you know right off the bat, which is my favorite statement, I'm not putting this third brake light in. I'm not pulling the headliner down in the back or anything. I'm sure there's people out there that are like, why? It's no big deal. Listen, once you take a headliner down or move it a little bit, it never sits right ever again, okay? And that's from a few experiences. I'm sure some of you have gotten it to sit right, but just from my experiences, it never works, okay? All I wanted was a third brake light that I could unscrew and screw a new one in and be done with it. So that is on me for not researching it way more. I went back and looked at the description. Nowhere in the description does it say that, you know, you have to do it this other way. But if you look at the picture, there isn't screw holes or anything like that. So again, I'll take the blame for that one. But let's get to the ordering process. So I order the piece, okay? It's from a company. The company is in California. Long story short with that, it takes almost 3 weeks to get to me, all right? And I couldn't figure out why. But as soon as I opened the box yesterday and saw the packing peanuts and stuff like that, I instantly knew that this part was direct from China, okay? So what he probably did, or that company does, this is a guess, is I order from him, then he buys the part from China, China ships it to him, then he ships it to me. Something like that. Because there's no way in 2017 a package should take that long when it's that small of a package. It's just impossible. When I opened the box up, you know, I did the video yesterday and I was doing quick looks at it, and you know, it looked good. After the camera was off, I started to look at it more and realized there was just parts to it that it just didn't look like a quality build. there was this big thick piece of foam that was covering like the circuit board in the LEDs and stuff in the back, and that was peeling up. So water and moisture will get in that in probably the first day. All right, so there was a bunch of red flags. Now, after looking at the tail light, or excuse me, the third brake light, and realizing this is going to be one of those, I have to pull the headliner off, but I'm going to email the guy and make sure. So I emailed Pro Tuning Lab and said, hey, how you doing? You know, as nice as pie as always. I'm never rude. I'm never rude to companies, even when they're rude. I'm not rude. So I emailed them and said, hey, how you doing? I just got my third brake light. It finally came today. You know, and I replied to the message that, you know, was my receipt to ordering it. I said, oh, it came today. No instructions came with installing it. I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. I thought it was going to be, you know, a direct replacement. It was pretty much like a plug-and-play style description. So I thought it was going to be screws off, the whole thing we said before, screws off, factory light off, new light on, screws on. Do you have any instructions available or anything? So he writes me back pretty quickly, and he said, no, something along the lines of, no, we don't have any instructions available. Just take off the old one and put the new one on. Now, to me, that, I gotta be honest, that instantly annoyed me, okay? You gotta be nicer than that if you're in the customer service game, okay? Especially when people are spending money on car parts. That was just, it just seemed very, you know, not right to say. Listen, I've had customers ask me and, you know, say interesting things to me like that. And that was always nice. It just seemed like he was being very passive. We'll put it that way, passive. So then, you know, after I read that, I wrote back to him right away and I said, all right, what's your return policy, and give me the instructions on what I need to do. Because at this point, I don't even want the light anymore. I want one that's, you know, is a direct screw on, screw off kind of light. So it's nice and easy. And he writes me back saying, oh, sorry for the inconvenience, and I have to take all sorts of pictures of the item, the box, and the shipping label to send to him, and then we can proceed forward. So at this point, when I read that, I'm like, well, this is a scam, and I'll just chalk it up as a loss of 70 bucks. So that's pretty much the long and the short of it. Usually I order from very reputable companies. I'll even pay the little extra to do so. The one time I don't research the company, this is what happens. So, I mean, if you want to buy from them, buy from them. I'm in no way your boss, but I'm just letting you know what I went through. And also, after last night, I went on a bunch of review sites, and there was nothing but negative comments. The same exact thing that I went through almost on a few of them. Some were along the lines of, oh, you know, like a return issue. Everyone said the customer service was subpar, and everyone said when they tried to return the item, they got a lot of fluff from customer service about how we need to send all these pictures, and then they don't answer you. It's kind of like they just stop contacting you. So, listen, I lost money, you don't have to. So learn from my mistake. That's one part of this. The second part of this video is going pretty long. It's a little bit of a rant, and I apologize. But the second part of this video is I am still looking for a third brake light. So your job as my viewers and subscribers is to, if you can, let me know if you know any decent third brake lights out there so I don't do this again, all right? I'm gonna buy from someone reputable this time, no issues. I'm gonna buy from a company that I know and I have a good relationship with, stuff like that, national brand, no little side stuff. But if you know of a good third brake light, especially one that would match the Windjet taillights, let me know. This one is on you guys. If you could let me know the name of the taillight and the price, that would, I keep saying taillight, the name of the third brake light and the price, that would be great and help me a lot. And yes, we will eventually get this third brake light on, all right? As far as what I'm gonna do with the current third brake light, the one that I ordered that I won't be using, I'll probably end up giving it away to you guys during one of my subscriber giveaways or something like that. So let me know if that's something you would want to. I know there's some of you out there that don't mind taking down the headliner in the back to get to the bolts and things like that, and that's fine. And if you're that guy, God bless you. I'm just not. I want a nice, easy installation. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with taking the headliner down. Like I said, I've had a couple weird experiences with it. But anyway, so comment below the video. Let me know what you think about what happened. Will you ever be ordering from that company? And a nice third brake light that you know of that you think would look good on the truck with the Windjet tail lights. All right, comment below the video. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tundra234. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I know it was a rant, but I look forward to what you guys got to say. I'll talk to you later.